Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you joined us earlier today, thank you for joining us again. If you came back for another go, we got another powerhouse lineup. So, what's up? Let's get into it. I am not going to be before you long because I'm going to play Tech Lady. But I am going to bring Kiana on to introduce herself, let you know who she is, all her deets, and then we're gonna bring on this powerhouse panel. We're gonna get this Friday night party started. We ain't gonna keep you long. So if you got Friday night plans after about 8:15ish, you can get on out of there. You can get on out there.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Tab. How are you?
Hey girl, hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's 7 o'clock. I'm so excited for this panel discussion. And thank you again for having all of us and all of this magic happening on this Fearless Friday.
Yes. I'm excited. So tell the people a little about yourself.
Absolutely. Much like Miss Tabitha D. James, who is the powerhouse that we all know and love, I am from Cross, South Carolina. I'm currently residing in Atlanta, Georgia. And I own a company called The Authentic Messenger. And so what I do is I help people bring out the brilliance in their stories. And so that's through public relations and branding strategies. And most people might be familiar with the fact that I was the creator and former host of the Nugichi podcast. So a lot of the work that I get to do is around storytelling and just being able to push messaging forward. So I'm excited again to have these women share their messages and allow those words and experiences that they share tonight to just, pour into all of us because we all need that, especially now.
Yeah, what better time than the present? So I'm going to remove my.
Look at the powerhouse panel as they come in. And it looks like Miss Tabitha just gave us the floor. So here we are. So we're going to just jump right into it. Like I said, I'm Kiana Edie All, and welcome to this amazing panel discussion for embracing the essence of Black womanhood, hosted by Dear Black Girl Shop. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you this incredible panel that we have this evening. We have Miss Whitney Douglas, we have Amber, the activator, we have Dee Dee, Jessica Janae, Sierra, as well as Keontae Ramsey, who is loading at the moment. What we're going to have each one of them do is just take a moment to tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, and just tell us, what kind of day did you have today, really briefly. And we'll start with Miss Whitney Douglas.
Good evening, everyone. Hi. I am Whitney Douglas, owner and master fashion stylist and creative director of Wardrobe with Whitney, which is a creative consulting boutique where I do an array of things, which we'll get into. But today, Friday, was really chill for me, actually. I knocked out a few things for the business. It's like a chill day can end up being business. It was one of those days, but yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Ms. Whitney, for introducing yourself. Amber, would you come off mute and let the people know a little bit about who you are and where you're from and how your day was?
Hey, everybody. I am Amber, the activator, but my real name is Amber J. I literally help people build profitable platforms. So I come from the stage. I'm a professional dancer. And so I literally help people get on the stage through their marketing and their brand experience. So that is why I own a brand experience company or an event marketing company. And today was one of those entrepreneur days where honestly, I did not care. I did not want to care, nor did I want to work. I didn't care. But of course, the work still had to get done because I'm about to go out of town. So that's probably why I didn't care. So here we are.
Oh, I think all of us could raise our hand and say we have been there, done that, got the t-shirt. That is the unspoken part of being an entrepreneur. Thank you for your honesty, Amber. Miss Dee Dee, can you come off mute and introduce yourself for us, please?
Hi, everybody. I'm Dee Dee Davis, and I am from Florence, South Carolina. I am the owner of a vintage boutique by the name of Thrifty Diva Vintage Boutique, located here in Florence, South Carolina. I am also a certified fashion stylist And I am the founder of a women's empowerment group by the name of Girl Chat, where we house about 10K women here on Facebook. And today has been a day where I was prompted to take a break. So I actually did not open today, and I am out of town. I am on the beach. Today has been a day where I just needed a mental break. Mm-hmm. And I think all entrepreneurs can relate to that.
Absolutely. The first thing that comes to mind when you say that is, especially we're talking about the essence of Black womanhood. The essence of Black womanhood is not doing, it's being.
Yes.
Sometimes we need to just be. So thank you for your honesty. Miss Jessica, and I don't know if I'm saying Janae or Gina, but
you are saying it perfectly. You are one of the first people that say it correctly, and you don't know me. So thank you. It is Jessica Janae. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Jessica Janae. I am from Florence, South Carolina, but I currently reside in Columbia, South Carolina, where I am a math interventionist for grades 1st through 4th. I am the founder and host of the Jessica Janae podcast. I lead an online community for women called Girlfriend Check-In, and I am stepping into the whole coaching lifestyle. So I'm really excited about that. And I just strive to impact women. So I'm grateful to be amongst so many beautiful Black women. So I'm excited about tonight's conversation.
Yes, thank you, and thank you for all this glitter and shimmery going on over there.
I have
setting
to
the vibe
for my HBCU. You know what I'm saying? Always.
South Carolina State, stand up. That's awesome. All right, last but not least, the lady of the evening who actually made the shirt that I'm wearing, Miss Sierra. Would you please
call you out and be like, okay, I see you with the dope shirt, But good evening, everybody. I am Sierra Young. I am the mental health homegirl. So talking all things mental health, transparency, relatability as it relates to mental health. I am from Duncan, South Carolina, not to be confused with Spartanburg or Greenville. It's Duncan. That is where I'm from. But my day has been amazing. It has been one of those days that really just reminded me of my grind, and everything paid off. I got my email that my degree was conferred today. So your girl is officially a professional counselor. So so I'm on a real big high today. So I'm really excited about this conversation.
Listen, we need you. We love you. We appreciate you going back to school to get that knowledge that we will need in our community so desperately. And just thank you. When we are able to get Miss Keontae on, we will have her also introduce herself, but we're going to go ahead and jump in. If you are watching this, please feel free to share this conversation with your Facebook feed so that other people can join in. Please, this is not us talking at you. We're having a conversation, so chat with us. As you can see, our woman behind the scenes is bringing up comments and different pieces of conversation. So bring the questions, the comments, all of that to the forefront. And before we begin, because I know how panels and conversations can be, I want all of us, those watching and those on the panel, to just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, so that we can relax ourselves, especially after this full week that we've had where we're going to war and all the things in America, in the world. While we have Ms. Keontae Ramsey, Tay, would you please do us the honors of telling us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and how was your day today, darling? And I don't know if she can hear me. Okay, no problem. We're going to jump in to the first question. So just to get us all centered and started around what is embracing the essence of Black womanhood, I would like for all of us to just even think about, what does Black womanhood mean to us? A lot of us, there's no textbook definition. So we've created our own definitions by way of experience. And maybe there's a person, a story, something that has shaped that. So let's start with Miss Amber. If you would tell us what you think Black womanhood is from your perspective, and what comes to mind when you hear that statement?
Yes. So honestly, I still, for me, believe that I am defining it, because for each person, it is totally different based off where you came from. And to be honest, I personally don't want to, I don't want my Black womanhood to look like my parents and or people that's been around me. So I'm still defining that and trying to take different things of what I see and I'm exposed to. But some of the things that come to mind actually is kind of what my brand exemplifies. And so redefine, literally, because honestly, as Amber the activator, I'm always talking about redefining what your success is, defining the odds against you, and actually activating a life of your dreams. And so it's redefining what that is activating what that is, and it's just succeeding the way that you desire to succeed. That's my best answer.
Listen, it's your real answer, and we appreciate it. Is there anyone else who would like to chime in and share what they think of Black womanhood and what comes to mind?
Yeah, I love what Amber said about redefining, because I feel like embodying Black womanhood means that you are always learning and growing yourself to discover who you are in the moment, right? So for me, when I think of Black womanhood, I think about evolution, how we have evolved and how we continue to evolve, and how we own the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we walk in, we demand, we command, and we need that respect and that authority. And I think that's so important as we like really think about Black womanhood and how we embody that.
I love what the ladies just said. Two words that stood out for me, of course, redefine and evolution. I agree with both of those points. I too, Amber, Black womanhood, although I think I had like the greatest example, I still find myself relearning and unlearning things, right? And taking all those ingredients and moving forward in what my journey looks like. Because what I thought my journey was going to look like at 20, now in my mid 30s, it's a different vision and a sharper focus on it, if you will. So I think Black women do an excellent job with just flowing and like I said with Tabitha with this question, nepotism, I think Black women do really well at. And when I say that, I mean as far as just reaching back and passing the baton. Black women, I think that we excel in that in whatever industry. And so that's what I think of.
I would imagine that most of us probably also fall into that millennial gen. Any comments around maybe how that has even played a part around our definitions? I'm sorry, Dee Dee, would you like to chime in?
Oh, I can't. It's breaking up. I couldn't really hear you.
Oh, it's okay. No, did you want to chime in about the Black womanhood and what that means to you?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was trying to make sure I was hearing right. But yeah, when I think of Black womanhood, I think of strength. I think that Black women are strong. We are very strong individuals. But at the same time, I also think of us not being stereotyped as strong Black woman. Like, because when we do that, it's so much pressure on us to hold up that standard. We are strong. We are. That's what we're known for. If you hear, and when I think of a black womanhood, that's the first thing I think of is our strength, but also to evolve, like they said, to be able to continue to learn from people before us and after us, would allow us to continue to evolve and not be pressured to be strong all the time, because sometimes we're not always that strong Black woman. So it just allows us to continue to grow and just be the wonderful creatures that we are. Like she said, we command attention, and it's just our aura. We don't even have to try hard. So yeah, that's what I think about when I think of Black womanhood.
Yeah.
I'll jump into when I hear Black womanhood, or when I think about Black womanhood, I just think about the layers of us, the layers that our partners get, the layers of us that our co-workers may get, the layers of us that our family and our friends get, and just how many layers that make us awesome. Like, we don't have to put ourselves in a box, although sometimes we put ourselves in a box. It's not necessary. So I think about that. And I also, in this season, when I hear Black womanhood, for me personally, I think of the word grace, because I'm learning that I don't have to be strong all the time, like Dee Dee said, but reminding myself that I am graced for whatever I may find myself in. I'm a new mom. Well, not new. My baby will be 7 months next Monday. And there are moments this week where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But I had to remind myself as a Black woman that I am graced for this, right? And so in this season, I'm just learning to extend myself grace, the same grace that I give to other people. So those are the two things, layers and grace. Those are the two words that come to mind when I think about Black womanhood.
Absolutely. Miss Keontae, would you come off mute and let us know who you are, what you do, and I know you have something to say about what Black womanhood means to you and what comes to mind.
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Thank y'all so much for everything that's already been contributed. I've been trying to get in, and my technical difficulties, but I'm here now. So my name is Keontae Ramsey, and I am the chief copy editor and copywriter and the owner of Eloquence Unlimited, which is a copywriting, full service copywriting and copy editing firm. And we're based here out of Charleston. And I pretty much just help to elevate the way we communicate in all ways. So I help power players in entrepreneurship, business, education, and entertainment just elevate the way that they communicate with their audiences and building and sustaining their brands. And when I think about Black womanhood, I just think about I kind of spoke to this earlier today in one of my posts. I think about the shoulders that we stand on. For so long, we've been having to cower and kind of play ourselves down. And unfortunately, like, for instance, when people say that racism doesn't exist, they don't understand the residual side effects of that, which is now us having to come out of our shells and be able to stand present and boldly in who we are. So even if that means, wearing your hair the way you actually want to, as opposed to feeling like it has to be straight or I have to have a wig in order to be socially accepted. I just think about the shoulders that we stand on and how we are now those shoulders and how we are now placed in a spot to elevate the next generation. So Black womanhood to me is just transcending and is rising above all of the things that we were taught that we weren't allowed to do or we should not do, and really embracing who we are and going on our own journeys and doing that boldly and unapologetically. So that's what Black womanhood represents for me.
I didn't expect anything less from our beautiful wordsmith. And so a lot of you brought up the point in which the examples that were set before or the example that we wish to become. I'm very curious to hear from you all. What were some of those examples that helped you to become the Black woman that you are today? And even if that example is one that is not the perfect example or the ideal example, I think all of our experiences, good, bad, and different, help shape us into who we are and help us to push forward in our purpose. So if anybody wants to start with that, definitely please chime in. Let's talk about it.
I can chime in. Go ahead, Sarah. You can go.
I think for me, my mom played a huge part in who I am and who I continue to grow to be and all of that. And I think that one of the things that I admire, but was also kind of, I'm not going to say it was negative because it wasn't, but that created kind of like this false idea, was her ability to maneuver and to be able to be a mom and work and take care of her household. She did that with so much grace that it made me feel like she didn't struggle. She didn't have any issues, that whatever she went through, she did it with such, style. And when I became a mom, it was like, oh, this ain't easy. This is hard. And so being able to take the combination of her strength and her ability to pivot when necessary, to face adversity, and then combine it with emotional intelligence and strength, has really cultivated a different realm for me, so that when I can show my daughters, you can be strong, but you can also not be that. You don't have to always smile. You can cry, and that doesn't make you weak. And I think that seeing that as a child helped me as a young adult. And then as I grow and I continue to absorb these things and the knowledge and interacting with other women who are now becoming vulnerable, we're able to show other young girls and my daughters and people in our circles who may have not healed some of that things and unlearned some of those behaviors that they learned growing up. We're able to show that in a different capacity. And I think that's been the most beautiful thing about learning from my mom, taking the good and then adding to that to create who I am.
Love that. Love that. I think one of the things that has swarmed in here also is that our true strength is in our vulnerability. And we've learned that by observation of seeing we don't need to have all of our things to be together to be in our strength. Like our strength is truly in our vulnerability. Anybody else want to contribute to this?
Yeah, so kind of piggybacking off of Sierra, my mom was like my example, right? But it was kind of a good and a bad thing. So I am the only child. Yes, I'm spoiled, but neither here nor there. Seeing her raise me alone and putting me in like cheer, putting me in all these activities, paying for, right? Going through her divorce, doing all of these things. She wanted to be like a nurse, but she actually had to forego some of those that training, things like that, because she had to take care of me. So I saw this strong Black woman, right? But then there was a time where I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing. And then I saw that she was like taking like anxiety and like depression type medication. And I was like, wow, like I want to say maybe that was like high school or end of middle school, something like that. And I was just like, wow, like my mom is struggling, but she doesn't ask for help, right? And it's hard for someone that doesn't do something to teach somebody how to do that, right? And so it's been a journey for me to just even get to a point of like, hey, I'm not feeling well, or hey, I'm confused, whatever it might be. And so those are kind of like one of those things I'm trying to unlearn and gather my thoughts and my feelings for it. But again, she taught me so much resilience and persistence just to even get me through where she has gotten me through. But now I'm taking those quote unquote negative perceptions that I may have gained or whatever and trying to redefine it for myself.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that I also thought about was we just live in a different time too. So strength had to be exhibited in a very different kind of way for those women to be able to have us, you know, and give us the lives that we have now, where we can be super vulnerable and we can be super vocal and have endless opportunities and possibilities. So when, you know, mothers who are listening or will listen to this, like we understand that there's been a huge transition that's taken for us. But I would hope that as much as we learn from y'all, that y'all will learn from us too, that you can relax a little. Because that, I know for me especially too, I just want my mom, you raise your kids, relax now. And you done well, relax. Anybody else want to contribute?
For me, I would say my older sister, I have two older sisters, but one in particular, I would say she has always, we're 4 years apart. And I've always looked up to her because she's always been so graceful and so giver. She's been such a giver as long as I can remember. And I remember as a little girl, I would pray and ask God to allow me to be a giver like her, because I saw that she would give endlessly, because our mom was always sick. She's always had some type of illness. And my sister had strength that I didn't have, and I had strength that she didn't have. So when my mom got sick, really, really sick, to the point where she could not take care of herself anymore, my sister took on the role as caregiver, because I believe that God calls us for different things. And I believe that my sister was called to be a caregiver. She just has that type of spirit. And so the bad thing about it is whenever she started to be a caregiver for my mom, I began to feel bad. I felt guilty, as if I wasn't doing enough. But my sister it just worked out better for her to be with her. But, you know, in the end, my mom did pass away. God rest her soul. At the end of her life, it is like, I'm the youngest, but at the end of her life, I can remember all of us being around her bedside, and all of my older siblings kind of looked to me. for me to do the prayer, for me to be the one to be strong. So it really helped me to realize that, you know, my sister was good at her role, what God called her to be to my mom, as her caregiver. But here I am now. This is my role. I spoke at my mama's funeral. So that's something that my sister could not do. She did not have the strength to do it. So it really just helped me to grow and realize that I don't have to be good at every single thing. Like, God calls each and every one of us to do something different. We all have a purpose in life, and it doesn't make one thing better than the other. So although I wasn't called to be her caregiver, I have strengths that I gave to the family in another different way. So my sister, she really has helped me to grow in so many different areas of my life.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Didi, for sharing that. I think all of us felt that very deeply, because in families and hierarchies, there are those different roles that people have to play, whether sometimes if they're ready for it or not. And that has probably shaped a lot of our womanhood. Anybody else want to say anything regarding someone who might have helped shape that perception of their Black womanhood before we move forward?
Just a final word on it for me. This question alone just resonates at this particular time in my world. And I can really relate to Sierra's and Amber's testimonies, just as far as, like, you know, I think at the age we're at now with myself, mid-30s, it's like you kind of look back at, like you said, you're living the life that, you know, you witnessed your elders live, right? And so you get to see, like, wow, like, I was really, you know, at a young age asking my mom to get this, and she was saying, no, I can't, you know, like living the adulting, like seeing how adult life really was, right? But to Amber's point, even though my mom was my greatest example, you know, there was still just some generational curses that that unfortunately, you know, had been passed down, you know, if I'm being honest, to myself and my brother, that I'm currently working through, you know, right? But I think, you know, this generation, it's the acknowledgement and the awareness part of things that I think that our generation is like really sharpening compared to like the generation before us, and we're trying to like fix those things so we then don't carry on to the next generation. So with all due respect to my mother, you know, I think all of our elders did the best that they can do, right? At that time, they did the best that they can do, period. And so it's our responsibility at this stage and where we at to, you know, analyze what worked, what didn't work, and then move forward in our journeys and being a little better than that. So I applaud all you ladies for just acknowledging that and just being aware. Like, so I love this.
That evolution journey is not to be played with. That transition, when you go from being that child looking at your mom to being that woman looking at how did your mother or your aunties and your big cousin and your big sister do all that stuff, that now you're like, I need them. How did they do this? That is one of the most mind-blowing things that we get to experience in this life. So in the vein, you've opened up the portal around our wellness, and Black History Month has themes. This year's theme is Black health and wellness. So let's talk about our wellness, because that is very, very important. Ladies, as entrepreneurs, as ladies who are on the move and doing fantastic things, who also plus have personal lives, families, relationships, all the things, how exactly are you in this day and age, especially during the times of COVID, and now there's a war happening overseas, how are you prioritizing your health and wellness for yourself? What have you learned?
I'll be honest. I have been doing a terrible job at it since becoming a mom. But I am realizing that it's so important for me to take care of me, because my daughter, she deserves the best of me. Like, when she looks at me, I feel like she just sees this perfect person. And so I have determined that March, because March is my birthday, will be me getting back to self-care and understanding that self-care looks different. I think there was just so much friction within myself, because my self-care looked different now that I have a child on I'm responsible for somebody else. So I used to beat myself up. Like, if I can't have self-care my way, then I don't want it at all. So right now, self-care looks like me staying in the shower a little while longer than I usually do, which I love long showers anyway. Self-care to me now looks like me turning on the music while I'm in the shower. Self-care looks like a nap. So I am getting back to next month spa days, nails done. I have a facial next Tuesday. But my daughter, she deserves the best of me, and the best of me means that I have to fill myself up and get poured into so that I can, show up gracefully for other people and for myself. So
we love it, Mama. We love it.
I love that you're fine, like you're redefining what that means for you. And for me, when I think about wellness and maintaining my health, I think about like the boundaries now that I've set and I'm standing firm on. I'm a single woman. I don't have any children or anything like that. So unfortunately, and this is a whole conversation for another day, but we always feel like we're on this timeline, right? So by the time I hit 25, I should be here and I should have this. And by the time I hit 30, I should be here and I should have this. And that in itself is just this mental collapse on you. And so for me, really understanding what is it that I want, and understanding that it's okay for me to say no. It's okay for me to say that's not going to work for me, and not feel a way about it. And not feel like, oh, that person might not, care about or care to work with me anymore or something like that. But just understanding that that's what healthy and wellness looks like for me. I try to go to the gym and stuff like that and maintain that, and trying to be more intentional about what it is that I put into my body. I feel like we are now in a space where we have all this, like, I call it information overload, where we get like just all this stuff about, oh, that's bad for you, that's not good for you, and just trying to find like a balance. So just trying to find my own way and maintaining those boundaries, and then being cognizant of like what I'm doing with my body, because I want to be here for a long time. So whatever I can do to ensure that, then I'm going to do it. And that's going to require a different level of discipline. And so the same discipline that I would apply to making sure that I get my clients' work done or I follow up, I make sure that, I take care of myself as well. And there were some days, there was a point in time where I would feel like I had to reward myself with food. So I'd say, okay, if you got this done and you got that done, then you can go ahead and have lunch. But if you don't get that done, then you're going to have to wait. And I heard someone say that that's a form of self-harm. And I didn't even consider that. So just like considering those different things about myself and making it more personal than how it looks to everyone else.
Said a mouthful. For those watching, this is the point where you should have a pen and paper taking out the notes because that was really, really insightful, Key. Anybody else want to tell us a little bit into their wellness strategy?
For me, it is unapologetically prioritizing myself. Just Sierra. Not Sierra as a mom, not Sierra as a partner, not Sierra as a business owner, friend, or daughter, just me. And I think that a lot of times we as Black women take on the roles that we play instead of just us and who we are. And so for me, prioritizing myself means that I'm not being selfish by saying, you know what, if my cup is not full, I don't have anything to give you. I can't show up. I don't want to pick up the phone. I'm going to struggle with being a mom. I'm going to struggle to fulfill whatever duties I have because I'm not good. And so a part of that unapologetically prioritizing myself was healing and is continuing to heal the parts of me that are broken. A lot of times people think that because I'm into mental health and that I got it all together. No, I don't. And I'm okay with saying that. So that transparency is a part of my, my self-care, and being able to just be the authentic version of myself at all times, no matter what that looks like. If that's not good, that day you're gonna get the not so good version of myself. And if that's, the best version of myself on that day, that's what you're gonna get. That has allowed me to genuinely be happy and present in every moment, no matter what it looks like. And for me, that is so critically important because it allows me to continue to be human. I'm not a superhero and I don't want to be. And as long as I'm able to continuously, unapologetically prioritize myself and say, I'm going to put me first before anybody, before anything else, I'm going to put me first. It allows me to operate in the best version of myself. And that's how I take care of me.
Sierra reminded me of one of my favorite books when she was talking, The Four Agreements. And in the Four Agreements, it talks about doing your best, understanding that your best is going to look different every day, right? Your best will look different when you're healthy and you're well versus when you don't feel good. And so I think it goes back to just extending yourself grace and understand that my best won't look the same each and every day. So Sierra, I definitely can agree with loving on yourself, not as a mom, not as a partner, but just as a human, and as a woman. I think that's so important. So thank you.
I got one more little tidbit. So like one of the biggest things that I'm learning for my self-care this year. So last year, my father passed back in June, but I hadn't seen him for years. So of course him passing brought up different things, right? So I think since then and up until now, whole journey, I'm learning to be okay with stepping back from family that I actually don't need to be with. And that's like a really, really interesting move and concept. I'm like, it's supposed to be your family. You're supposed to do X, Y, and Z. But when they are, like she said, like, you're not filling my cup, you are literally draining every single thing. I'm having to learn what that looks like to step back and be okay with it.
And that's a reminder of what Keontae was saying. That's a boundary. And you can do that unapologetically, family or not, right? Like you can set boundaries with people and it's okay. And you have to do that not only for them, but the boundary is not for them. It's for you. That's for you.
Mm-hmm. For me, I've had to aside of going to the gym and all that stuff that we do. I go to the gym, I eat healthy, I get my nails done, all this good stuff. But aside from that, one thing that I've learned to do here recently is to tell myself that it's okay to detach. It's okay to detach from social media. It's okay to detach and live in the moment. Be present. Sometimes we can get so caught up with, especially when you're an entrepreneur and when you're a mom, when you're all these other things. I just had to accept it. It's okay to detach. Sometimes it's good to detach. So that has been a part of my self-care here recently, to detach and be okay with it.
I love that, D. And I was gonna move on to. You mentioned something that just really resonated with me. In Q4 of last year, my business page was hacked on Instagram, and I had years of organic, genuine following that I had gained, right? And so I started over. And I just gained a different mindset and perspective of how I utilize social media, because if a follower can just be taken away from me just like that, what really is a follower? And how much time am I investing into these apps to prove what exactly?
Yes.
Because I know several people in various industries that are doing great things without any social media presence. So when we talk about wellness and just really boundaries, right, I've gained this different perspective with how I use those tools, right? And so I find myself I don't get caught up in the performative post too much. If it's not anything that is gonna gain me business for my business, or I'm not interested. And I'm honestly not even interested in a follower count. I'm not interested in dealing with the pressure of having to do they want to encourage you to do more reels and do all this, and you get paid to do that, and it's like, but I don't want to. You know, I'm going to keep it at the level that I feel is, best for me. And so that's a boundary that I've recently gained. And I think it's important. I've also found myself, used to have a bad habit of waking up and, going straight to social media, and, you just waste time. It's a matrix, and we get caught up in like scrolling and just minding the business that's not ours, right? And so a part of my wellness and mental is definitely, since the top of the year, has just been like, you know what, I'm off the gram at 8 p.m. I don't need to consume anymore. Or, lunch hour, instead of scrolling the gram, I'm gonna read my book. So those are different ways that, I control what I consume and what I do for my business. So
can I add something to what Whitney said? So God told me two things. He's been stretching me like crazy over these past few months. The first thing he told me was, I didn't call you to influence. I called you to make an impact, right? And some of the people with the most impact have the least amount of followers, right? The other thing God told me, which was a few weeks ago, he said, I had to get you to a place where you're not moved by the likes, right? Because I would post a reel about what I brought from Amazon, how it looks, and it would get like 400, 500 likes. But if I'm talking about God and trying to encourage the people, it may get 80 likes, 100 likes, right? And so God said, I had to get you to a point where you're moved because I told you to do it. You're moved by the call, and you're not moved because of the likes, right? And once I finally got that, he was like, now I can use you the way I want to use you. So that's just for anybody who wants to be used by God, but it's like the pressure of social media. Like, well, if I don't got enough likes, like I'm not impacting. No, most of the people that's impacting for real, they don't have a lot of likes. And sometimes people are so impacted by what you're saying, they don't got time to like, they don't got time to make comments, right? So that's where God had to, that's the hard work that God has been dealing with me lately. And he was like, now that you get it, now I can use you. Because them likes really don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
Listen, I got convicted the same exact way, probably about 2-3 weeks ago. The Holy Spirit prompted me to get off. Like, just stop. You're doing too much. You are looking at the likes. You not even doing what I told you to do anymore. Your post is not for the right reason. Get off. He just told me I had to fast from social media altogether. He told me don't post, don't do nothing. Just stop. Because you're so distracted. And it's like every day on my page, because I have my women's empowerment group, I do write affirmations every single day. Like, I pour into people every single day. And like you said, I noticed, like, if I do my fashion stuff, it'll get a whole lot of publicity. But if I do just like my positive affirmations and talking about those things, it's not really that popular. And so, I started to think the Holy Spirit just showed me, like, you pouring into these people like every single day. What are you doing? What are you doing it for? Why? It got to a point where I felt pressured to do it. Like, every single day I have to make my post by 10 a.m. Like, I'm putting all this pressure on myself. So yeah, that is one thing that I got convicted at the top of the year. And I am not doing that anymore, because for what? Like, I do not have to have that pressure on myself. I literally took the pressure off of myself to do that, because like she said, one of y'all said, you can't pour from a half empty cup, So yeah, that is so true.
Ooh, ladies, y'all are laying it heavy. I think one of the sort of core messages that I hear here is that we have all learned our great share of lessons along the way. And a lot of those lessons stem from what is happening around us and how that is affecting how we think we're supposed to respond or how we're supposed to be. When in essence, we truly need to sort of kind of bring it all in, set our own intentions for what it is that we want to be doing, and then ride your own wave, create your own path, do your own thing. Because authentically being you is really where all the sauce, the magic, the juice, all the goodness truly resides. So I don't know, I feel like somebody was about to say something. Nonetheless, to get us somewhere near closing, I want to know a little bit about lessons that you feel like other brown, Black women who are listening to this live stream today, like, sis, if you don't do nothing else, if you don't hear me say anything else tonight, this is what I want you to learn from me so that you can go out and be even greater. Anybody want to share a lesson?
I think go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was going to say, I think my final words would be, ladies, and to whoever's watching, is to always stand 10 toes in apologetically who you are, authentically who you are, not who you're following, not authentically designed by the creator who you are, stand 10 toes in that, and lean in that, and just watch where God takes you. Those would be my final words.
Whitney, just because I see we got a little bit more time than I thought, what brought you even to knowing that? What can you impart on us about how you learned that lesson so deeply?
I have always been one that I knew what I wanted, the industry I wanted to be a part of early on in age, as early as 15. I started out in the fashion industry modeling. And so I was on the forefront of things, whereas by age 17, I started actually coaching and teaching youth runway modeling. And I later, throughout college, gained, a light for the behind the scenes factor of things. And so wardrobe styling and event production and things like that. I was the student in class that was telling my science and social studies classes that I had no interest in. I would tell them, well, I'm going to be in fashion. Like, what does this have to do with me? Like, I knew from an early age that I didn't want to do that stuff. And none of this applies to what I'm looking to gain better expertise in. And so over the years, like I said, again, standing authentically. So I knew that was me. I knew that was my heart, right? And I didn't want anything that didn't look like that a part of my journey. And, to God be the glory. Fortunately, I've been able to take this journey, the whole ride. I've been able to stay in this industry and excel in this industry, and I know that's not a story for everyone. And so I thank God for that. I thank God for my mother planting those seeds early, you know what I mean, and putting me around the right people and the right organizations and things like that to get that exposure. So I credit those experiences to that mindset. And I also think, like I said, once you just know and you just are hungry for it, you do all things that point towards that goal, I think, in all ways. So yeah.
Girl, we all knew, and somehow the world will do a really good job of squashing things in you to make you think you can, or it's going to be too hard for you or something. You knew that when you were a child, and you just got to hold on to your dreams and your vision and just be very vigilant about making that come to pass, regardless of what anybody has to say. So yeah, I'm glad that you stuck with the fashion girl, because you got it.
Oh, thank you.
Anybody else? Those hard lessons?
I like to piggyback on that, because mine is, you have to own your story, no matter what that is. It doesn't matter what it is. You have to own your story. And that lesson came from me when in 2008, I was arrested for a DUI. And as a college student, and, I had just crossed in the spring and I was on a high. And then the perception of me was no longer, it wasn't it. That wasn't it. And for a while, it took a long time for me to be able to say that without thinking somebody's going to judge me, without saying that and not letting it define me. I had to create my own story. I had to own that. That was a part of the lessons that I was supposed to learn. That was a part of how I got to where I am and where I'm going to go, because I needed that experience for a lot of reasons. And being able to own that shows that there is nothing that no one can say or do to allow me to think less of than myself, because I've been there, I've done that, and I've grown from it. And so as a person who has been through some things, who continue to go through some things, owning my own story and being able to be the narrator of my life, not defined by what people think I should be or what they thought I was going to be or what they think I should be doing, has been one of the greatest lessons for me on my journey.
I want to
Thank you.
Can I piggyback real quick?
Please.
So going to the redefining first. If y'all don't learn anything from me, redefine whatever your version of success is, and picking back off of what Sierra said, owning your story and being comfortable with knowing that you trying to fix it. Because a lot of the times we don't acknowledge our mess ups, right? And we want to scoot it up under the rug or whatever and be like, I didn't do it, and try to move on. Like, but that is the same reason why we're stuck, is because the same issue is coming up in different formats and we keep failing the lesson or the test at that point. So once we figure that piece out, then we're able to move forward and activate, right? I'm gonna use my word, and activate and actually create a life that we want to live. That's you.
Love it. Miss Didi, you look like you was about to say something.
I was just gonna say, for me, if I had to leave some thoughts, I would just say I just did a live video about this yesterday, about when you are intentionally positive. When you are an intentionally positive person and you put positive things out there, like she said, when you are that type of person, you're not going to get a lot of support. And I just want to encourage everybody to continue to do that. Your story is just that, your story. So nobody knows what you went through. Nobody knows why I have made a conscious decision to be positive all the time. I lost my parents 3 years apart. My father died, and then my mama died right behind him, and then my husband left me. So I know how it is to be in a depression for 6 months and can't get out of my bed and don't have no reason to live. So when the Lord got me up, I made a conscious decision that I am going to make a positive impact on this world to show people that I've been to hell and back, but I don't have to look like it. And nobody has to know, because I'm going to be a beacon of light in this dark world. So that's what I would say. Be who you are. Nobody knows your story. Nobody knows what made you who you are today. They don't know that I was almost dead. So that's why I make a conscious decision to be a beacon of light in this dark world, because people will hate you just because you're positive. It's very sad, but it's very true. They will hate you just because you are positive. They will call you fake. You are not real, but they don't even know. They could not live in my shoes for 2 minutes. They will give me my life back. They'll say, you can have it back. I don't want it. So
I know that's
what I would say. Be you, no matter what anybody thinks, because nobody knows your story.
Oh, goodness, ladies. Jessica, Janae.
I have so many lessons, but I'll share one. If I had to leave the people watching with something, I would say that you don't owe you anything. And what I mean by that is, for so long, I held over myself what I did and the things that I accepted when I didn't know who I was, when I didn't know my worth, when I didn't know my value. And for so long, that kept me stuck, because I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to walk in purpose. I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to do the things, or some of the things that I do now, because I was feeling like I should be loyal to the girl I used to be when I didn't know who I was. So it is okay to divorce the old you, right? It's okay to divorce the old you. And I really feel like you should want the future you and the present you to really pay back. Like the old you and this person that you are now, they really not seeing each other. So it is okay to divorce the old you and to stop holding over yourself the things that you did, the things that you accepted, the mistakes that you made, and the poor decisions. Because I knew I was a grown woman for real when I could stop saying, oh, I made a mistake. No, you made a poor decision. And so it's okay to divorce yourself. So that's what I would say.
There were so many affirmations that have been inserted through this. You know, I mean, we still got like a little bit more time. What kind of are you ladies, how are you affirming yourself also that you could share with everybody. I'll start. Like every day for the last 3 years, I've been saying this full affirmation. My name is Kiana Edie, and I'm a game changer. I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm talking about, and I know how to make things happen. God is the greatest. I am an unstoppable entrepreneur, and it's some more stuff that I kind of skipped in there. But the power of our words and what we're saying to ourselves is what pushes us and fuels us to keep going forward and not reminiscing on what happened in the past. So I think all of you touched on that. So yeah, even, Sierra made this shirt that I'm going to showcase again in her Fancy Bosses brand. And I mean, she had a moment to affirm the things that these women were doing. Hustle like Sierra, create like Sabrina, brand like Pamela, wordplay like Keontae, strategize like Tab, network like LaShawn. These are the things that my name ain't even on this shirt, but I'm affirmed that I can do these things through these beautiful women who have been listed and that I have proximity to. So that's my spiel. Anybody want to leave us with a little gem drop?
I think for me in this season, I continue to ask myself, why not me? Why can't I have the life that I want? So anytime I start doubting myself or God gives me an idea and I start thinking small, like, oh, I don't think I can do that. And it's like, why not me? God put me on this earth for a time such as this. And if it was my time to, like, if I couldn't do it, like, I don't feel like I would be alive to see a new day, right? So every day you're alive, like, you got to show up, like, why not me? Clearly, if God told me to do it, he trusts me with it, right? And so you have everything that you need to get done what God has called you to get done. It may not look like what you want to look like, but he's giving it to you. So tap into what he's giving you. So why not me?
That's a word. Ooh, that's a word.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, you good. Go ahead, girl.
I just got real hype because it's like so many of us play so small, and Tabitha gets on me about that all the time. She'll be like, Jessica, you gotta stop letting people pimp your value. And literally, I know God sent me my daughter so I can really boss up. Not just with my words, but with my actions and how I view myself, right? Because now when I look at my daughter's face, I want it for real, for real. And so I'm going from just writing about it, writing the vision, make it plain, but really executing it because I know I got stuff to do. And so, yeah, I'm sorry. I just felt that, like, for a lot of us, like, we got to stop playing small, thinking small, because any day that you're awake, you're alive, you have breath in your body, it's because God has work for you to do. And so why not you? Respectfully. Why not you? Why not me? Why not us? Respectfully.
Amen.
Take off the respect. We ain't even got to do it respectfully.
I was going to say,
disrespectfully.
You're so right.
Not even respectfully, but just to add on that, like Key was talking about, like, affirmations, and a lot of time people hear me say dope. Like, people hear me use the word dope, like, often. And I tell myself that I'm dope. When I'm working with my clients, I'm talking about you're activating your dopeness, right? So, like, but it means more than that, because you're defying the odds and you're promoting excellence within yourself, with what you want to do, with how you live, how you move, how you do all of that. And, like, you can be dope in your own way and in your own lane. Mental health is my thing. There's nobody in this world who can tell me otherwise. I don't care who out here doing it. And I'm not going to minimize myself to not show up in this field how I'm supposed to do that. And so when you think about how you're walking, how you moving in your everyday life, and what you're chasing and what you're going after, just remember that you're dope. You're defying the odds and you're promoting excellence every single day. And if you just remember that, and if you hold on to that, you're going to walk in your purpose and you're going to follow whatever it is that you want to chase after.
In the great words of the great poet Juvenile, I love to quote the lyrics. You a paper chaser, you got your block on fire, G until the moment you expire. You know what it is. You made nothing out of something. You handle your biz, and don't be crying and suffering. Okay, I say that to myself every morning. Okay, that is my affirmation.
Yes, ma'am.
I think I love that. I guess my affirmation all the time is within my name, like Amber the Activator. My brand strategist did an amazing job doing that, because when I'm seeing Amber the Activator everywhere, it's reminding myself like of what, as well as, I don't know if it's like a trick, but when your phone, or not your phone, but when your computer goes to sleep, sometimes it can show you pictures and stuff. And so I actually have photos of where I started and the things that I do now. So whether it be from me speaking or me vending or me setting up these events, whatever, it's an opportunity for me to like randomly look back of like, wow, you've came a long way. And that right there helps me keep those, or helps myself, what am I trying to say? Helps me affirm myself that I'm doing good.
I know that's right. I heard that maybe there is a definition that Sierra's been carrying around with the dope. Do you mind explaining and sharing that, just so we make sure we have that tool in our toolbox?
Yeah, so defying odds and promoting excellence. Defying odds and promoting excellence. So if you hear me saying it, it ain't just I'm dope, right? It's I'm defying the odds of whatever people thought I should be, what I was going to be, what I wasn't supposed to be, what I'm doing, and then I'm promoting whatever excellence, whatever that lane is. And for me, it's mental health. That's my jam. Can't nobody take that from me. So that's what I'm promoting. I'm promoting my excellence in that, and that's my purpose and walking in that.
Amen. Any last thoughts before we kind of close up things here? This was amazing, ladies. I had little notes. I was like, wait, I forgot my piece of paper. Nonetheless, ladies, thank you so much for your time. I did say somewhere on social media that somebody who was a lucky listener would win a shirt today also. So I want to make sure that whoever in the comments can give us their affirmation, and Miss Tab, whichever one you put up first is the one that's I'm going to go with. That is what who I'll choose from. But while that is happening, so affirmations in the comment, you will win a t-shirt. We want to go back around and just say, how can these people continue to get a piece of magic from you and all the wonderful things that you're doing? So what are your social websites, etc.? What do you have coming up? And yeah, let's do that. Let's start with Miss Jessica Janae.
All right, so y'all can follow me at Jessica Janae G on Instagram. Jessica Janae G on Instagram. Soon I will be coming back with the Jessica Janae podcast, but feel free to catch up on all the older episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. And I have the online community on Facebook, the Girlfriend Check-In group, if you would like to join. I have some exciting things happening. And yeah, that's it. And thank you for hosting this. Thank you, Tabitha, for allowing me to be a part of the room with these amazing women who are literally doing their thing in their own perspective. So thank y'all.
All right, let's go to Miss Didi.
You can find me on Facebook at Thrifty Diva. The name of my business page is Thrifty Diva Vintage Boutique. And if you want to join my women's empowerment group, you can find me on Facebook, Girl Chat, a women's empowerment group. And if you want to come shop with me in person, you can find me at 811 South Cashua Drive in Florence, South Carolina. I'm right across the street from the little Walmart. So if you want to come shop with me in person, you can do that as well.
We love it. We love it. Let's go with Whitney Douglas. Let's keep the fashion hand rolling.
So my new IG handle, where I'm mostly active at, is It's Wardrobe with Whitney. And you can also visit me at my website, wardrobewithwhitney.com, and take a look at some of my portfolio and journey there. I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I won't even throw that out there, but It's Wardrobe with Whitney. You can also follow my workshop where I do fashion and wardrobe coaching. It's Whitney's Wardrobe Workshop on Instagram as well.
We love it. We love it. Amber the Activator. And I can't help it. I was thinking, Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay,
I had to bring it
I'll
up.
take that too. But yeah, so I put it here in my little title thing as well. But it's literally Amber the Activator on Instagram. And if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, that's Amber J Owens as well. If you are interested in being a part of the Activator community, what I call my community, I'm actually about to go on tour in Q4. So hit me up. You never know. You can share the stage.
We love it. Miss Sierra.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram. It's my name is Sierra _ because I just changed my name. I'm no longer fancy. I had to part ways with it. But you can find me on Instagram. My name is Sierra _ and then my website is recycleenergy.com, and that's ENRGY. Forget the second E. Something we have going on, I have a monthly conversation called Beyond the White Couch, where we talk about hard issues that people don't want to talk about in the Black community. It really gives a space to create dialogue and educate and relate before you try to go to therapy. Although services are offered, a lot of times people aren't ready for that, and so this is a way to kind of get you in the space to even thinking about moving in that direction. I also have a podcast called Normalize Mental Health, the podcast. You can find that. And then I have a group that I will be hosting starting in March called Black Woman Disrobe. So if you are a woman who is struggling with uncovering yourself outside of the titles that you have, whether you're a mom, a wife, a partner, CEO, whatever, you can disrobe, and that group will be everything and more. So I'm super excited about that.
Woo! See, only somebody by the name of Miss Tabitha D. James could bring a phenomenal group of women from so many different facets doing amazing things. A lot of us are from South Carolina, if not all of us. And we are just, I love this energy. Keep this energy as we go from Black History Month to Women's History Month and continue to have the celebration going. I want us all to take the moment to give a round of applause to Miss Tabitha D. James for putting together the first Fearless Friday featuring 10, 15 women to talk about Black womanhood and embracing it and just giving us this space. You are amazing. Thanks for all that you do in the world, Tab. It's invaluable. So before we part ways, it looks like our winner this evening will be Miss Sierra Kilgore. So congratulations, Sierra. And if you would just send a message to the Dear Black Girl page with your size and address, we'll go ahead and get that sent over to you. And yeah, this has been phenomenal. It's Friday. I know y'all probably been working and doing stuff all week. I hope that everybody watching this goes away and can relax. But it looks like we have a special guest. So I'm going to let her speak because I know she has something to say. Hello.
I just wanted to say thank you. I can't believe you shouted me out, Kiki. I'm kind of rolling my eyes, but you know what? I am learning in this season to really sit in that, right? To sit in the greatness and the dopeness and the magic and all of that I have created. Earlier today on my reel, I said that I am in a unique season of planting and harvesting. So I would like to think that today was a day of harvesting. 14 women said yes. Two or three of them, like I met and they came into this like because of this. But the rest of y'all, like I've been rocking with, and I just asked y'all to do it with no scripts, no real definition of what this would be. And per usual, y'all followed up with my shenanigans. And it was greatness. And in other realms of my life, I'm still planting seeds that I will maybe harvest at 40 or 50 or whenever. But I know that the fruits of this season is because of the seeds that I have planted for so long. And I was just dying inside earlier when y'all were talking about social media, and I love social media. So today, my portion to take breaks and all of that. But what I would say for people when I'm working with them with content, it's like good content cannot mask good work. And so a lot of people want to, they want their reels to do well. They want their static posts to do well. They want this to do well. They want to do that. Go do what you say you do on the internet in real life consistently. day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And baby, I'm telling you, you're going to see the return on investment somewhere, whether it's on the internet, whether it's in your community, whether it's hopefully in your bank account. Because earlier we talked a lot about the money. So if you missed the 2 p.m. chat, definitely go back and catch that replay. But this was good, y'all. And I thank y'all for your time, talents, transparency on a good old Friday, fearless Friday evening. I don't take it for granted. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And I know that if I call on you again, you will be ready to serve. And thank you all to everybody in the comments rocking with us. This evening, I would like to say that we are going to keep this going for a solid 3 months. I told Kiki last night that I can commit to 3 months. I've been going live for 6 years.
A decade.
So, if I ever got to be the moderator, it ain't happening. But as long as I can continue to find people to moderate and to talk, we will only do one that day. So it is going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, March the 25th. So if you are a Black woman tuned in, and yes, a Black woman tuned into this, and you would like to be considered for that opportunity, I did drop the link earlier, and I will drop that link once again. For the March, we are accepting those. My designer would like to get those photos in earlier rather than later, and we're gonna make sure that we in the good God sent year of 2022 this time. But nonetheless, I have to shout Brianna out once again. She never fails me, and baby, this time she understood the entire assignment, and so I have to shout her out. And if any of you are in the market for a designer, she's accepting clients. You will not replace me, but she is accepting clients because sis understood the entire assignment as it related to our graphics. So shout out to her on this great evening. And I think she was tuned into the chat. So I'm sure that she hears this. So congratulations to our winner. Make sure that you send a DM so that you can get your prize. And that's all I have. I want to find me some food. This has been good to my soul. Thank y'all so very much. Kiana. Oh, wait. You didn't leave us with your thing or introduce yourself, and that's what I made Fee do earlier. So when I came on, you have to leave us with it. What if the people had to walk away with anything from you? What would it be? And then let us know how to connect with you and what you have going on in this season.
Absolutely. I will ditto a lot of what has been said earlier. I remember on the New Year's Eve of 2008, I was at brunch with friends and we were talking, we were like toasting to the new year. And, that was the year that I went, this is the year of me defining what my womanhood is like. So from 28 on, I don't know what I was doing before. I was a kid. But at 28, I decided that I was going to really embrace what my womanhood was. And I'm just so ecstatic that at 31, this has been an amazing journey. So I want people out there to give yourself the space to go on the cosmic journey of who am I? What does womanhood mean exactly to me and only me? And how do I live that out truly, authentically, purposefully, intentionally? And I promise your life will be 10 times better than it ever was, because life is for the living. So you'll start to see a lot of that kind of pouring through my platforms. I did just sunset my podcast, but sometimes old things have to go so that new things can emerge. And so right now you can follow me until next week at New Geechee on social media. And then you can also follow my business page, The Authentic Messenger. So TheAuthentic Messenger. I don't know why I started spelling it, but it's spelled exactly as is. And, for all things branding, PR, marketing, those are the kind of conversations we're going to start opening up, because as much of it is a business conversation, a lot of it is personal. Not that they have to mix, but the more in tune I've become with myself, my business flourishes as a result. So, yeah, we're going to kind of parallel and show both of those worlds. And so that's where you can find me. And that's all I got for you, Tab.
I have to ask, so with New Geechee ending, will the episodes all go away? Is it all going to just disappear, or are you going to leave it up?
No, so the episodes are down right now just until like next month, and then they're gonna go back up because I had to like close the website and all these different things. But they're gonna be on the internet for as long as I can continue to pay my SoundCloud subscription.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Well, thank you for that and that platform. I was honored to be a guest many moons ago. And I often cringe listening to that interview, but it definitely shines a light on a version of Tab that I am so glad I have healed from. So y'all have a great Friday night. Find and follow these ladies. Everybody's information is in the comments, and this live stream will remain up on the Dear Black Girl Shop page as well as my personal page. If I haven't said it a million times, I have to say it again. Thank y'all. Kiana, yes, ma'am.
Sorry, y'all have heard us talk. Make sure that you follow the Dear Black Girl Shop page so that you can get all the notifications about the next conversation. And then also, I went over to dearblackgirlshop.com and it's lit over there. Yeah. So, especially with Women's History Month coming up, and I know like a couple of us were Deltas. It's gonna be Sisterhood Month next month. Maybe even if you don't even buy something for yourself, show another woman in your life, like, hey, I'm thinking of you. I love you, dear Black girl. Keep being great. So that's what we should do. Keep passing that baton.
I caught the shade, okay? Unacceptable.
Amber, Amber and I would like to hold it down,
Well, first of all, we act with class, so I just let you think that.
Mm-hmm. we seen it
on the line.
I'm about to play with these ladies tonight, but it is definitely all love. Clearly,
it's love.
All love. And shout out to Keontae, y'all. I did drop her Instagram in the comments. She's at the Harbor Club, and I'm not sure why the internet was acting up at the Harbor Club, but it was because if you're from Charleston or know anything about Charleston, the Harbor Club is nice. And so I'm not understanding why the internet was cutting up, but she was a little in and out tonight, but she was definitely dedicated to the mission and tried her best to continue hopping on. So I will make sure to drop her. I think I already did drop her IG in the comments, because if you need a wordsmith, baby, Keontae will have you read in the bio, like, who is this person? Who is she talking about? So definitely chime in with her. But y'all have an amazing night. Thank y'all so very much. Link with the people in the comments too, because clearly that means that y'all have something in common, because on a Friday night you thought it not robbery to be in a discussion such as this. So I think that says something. The panorama, though we still in it, we outside. So for you to be here, that's important. So look at who's above you, who's below you. There may be some connections there. So y'all have a good night.